I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't even going to record this video. I was on a run this morning and I feel like God just kind of grabbed hold of my heart. And so there's no script. This is unpolished, unfiltered. There's no lights. My phone's jammed in the bark of a tree. I'm just here to share a couple ideas because I've spent the last month or so watching a hurting world. In the midst of a global pandemic, to see such violence, such racism, such hate, such ignorance, such hurt, one can't but stop and think. One can't but stop and ponder, and hopefully to dive in and to dive inward and to think about our own issues or our own insecurities, our own pride, our own prejudice, our own preconceived ideas, or our own perception of others. And so I just come humbly as someone who's unqualified to speak. So before you type in the comments about how I'm saying it wrong or how I'm doing it wrong, I'm trying to just get maybe one person to stop throwing rocks at others, or to stop hating on others, to stop judging other people, and maybe for a minute to stop and think and to wrestle with their own pride. At times like these, it's important to dig deep and to think about our own pride, our own prejudices, our own preconceived judgments that we carry about other people. People of different colors, people of different nations, people of different languages, or people of different sexual orientations or beliefs or religions or socioeconomic statuses. We all carry these ideas, these perceptions that are based on a lifetime of feelings and emotions and teachings and media consumption. And our pride will tell us that we are right, that we are justified to believe this, that because they acted this way or because this group of people did this thing, that we can believe a way about other people that is wrong. I am guilty of this just as anybody else. Because our perception is our reality until our perception is corrected, until our perception is challenged. I've had my perception challenged in the last month. I've had my preconceptions and my ideas of other people and even of myself challenged. I look inward as a father who's raising two beautiful young boys whose skin color is white, who maybe won't fear for their life ever when they get pulled over by the police, who won't understand the fears or the doubts or the judgments that other people may face. But as a father, wanting to raise them with empathy, wanting to raise them with the ability to step into somebody else's shoes, into somebody else's situation, to kneel next to someone who is hurting, someone who is bleeding, someone who is judged or excluded or ostracized, and to kneel next to them, not to kneel on them, but to kneel next to them and hurt with them and cry with them and say, I don't understand. I don't understand. I will never understand. I get that. You can save your comment. But I know what it's like to hurt. I know what it's like to bleed. I know what it's like to lose people you love and to have people say unfair things about you. Because deep down, what we share as humans, there's nothing better than a 35-year-old sweaty man, ugly crying on YouTube. But I'm going to be real. What we share as humans, what we share as people is so much more important than what we don't, than what divides us. And so in this time of reflection, in this time hopefully of reconciliation, of people speaking out and shouting from rooftops, and some people throwing rocks, and some people throwing hate, and some people pointing fingers, I want to encourage you I heard somebody say one time that we need a lot less fingers and we need a lot more thumbs. We need to look inside ourselves. And until we look at that man or that woman in the mirror and we look at the pride and the prejudices that we carry and that we have built on years and years of experience, and until we realize that we might not know everything. I heard Joyce Meyer say one time that we really don't know anything until we know we don't know anything. I'm right here to admit and say that I don't know anything. I'm not qualified to speak on this topic, but I do know that we need more love. I do know that we can do a better job of being empathetic, that we can do a better job of stepping into other people's situations and hurting with them and imagining what it might be like to be hated on because of the color of your skin, or because the belief that you have, or because the shoes that you don't wear, you do wear. God, I see it every single day. I'm going to bring it back to my own social narrative, because our reality is based on our own perception. I teach in a middle school, and I believe that we all are middle schoolers. Just deep down, some of us think that we know a little bit more, but we're all middle schoolers at heart, insecure, wanting to feel important, wanting to be accepted. And we as humans have always hated on what we don't understand and what is different. God, I see kids every day who will throw everything they believe out the window, who will change the way they dress, the way they speak, the way that they even interact with others, simply to be accepted, to not be different. Because people have always hated on what is different. And we look back, and as long as history goes, and we've seen people that have been killed, people that have been murdered, people that have been excluded and ostracized, excommunicated because of their differences. I firmly, wholeheartedly believe that if we are going to succeed, if we are going to move forward, if we are going to actually see change, we need to embrace those differences. We need to celebrate those differences. We need to love and appreciate and try to understand those differences. Have those difficult conversations. To stop pointing fingers at other people and throwing rocks through windows and blaming and start looking at ourselves in ways in which we can be the solution, in ways we can be the help and the love that somebody else needs. And so my hope and my prayer for you and for me, for our nation, for our world, that we would examine our pride. We would recognize that we might not have it all together. That there might be someone out there who shatters the prejudice that we have against a group of people, the prejudice that we have against a police officer, the prejudice that we have against a black man, the prejudice that we have against a woman or someone of a different gender or someone of a different nation or someone of a different socioeconomic status. That there's someone out there that would absolutely shatter what you believe about that group of people. And before we knee-jerk react to someone based on what they look like or what they believe, that we would respond out of love, out of a shared human connection and a desire for a better world and a better community where people are loved and celebrated and not hated and excluded. I don't know if this encouraged you. I don't know if this challenged you, but I've been challenged and I feel like I've been changed. And as I move forward as a father, as a teacher, as a husband, as a white man living in Montana, in one of the whitest parts of the world, I make a commitment to embrace others, free of my pride, free of my preconceived ideas, and free of any prejudice that I may hold. Love you guys. Love others. Dig deep. Point those thumbs. Go for a walk. Do some thinking. Do some listening. Adios.